All right, so students, today we are going to see few multiple choice questions, which will be based on Unit 4 and Unit 5. And these questions will be helpful in your university exams, as AKTU is going to take the exam only on MCQ based questions. So starting with first question, we have which of the following characteristics or characterizes a quantizer? क्वांटाइजर को कौन सी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कैरेक्टराइज कर रही हैं, इन ऑप्शंस में से आपको चूज करना है, राइट? यू हैव टू फाइंड द बेस्ट ऑप्शन फॉर द सेम. So in this, when we are going to see that first option is quantization results in a non-reversible loss of information. Second, it is showing that a quantizer always produces uncorrelated output samples. The output of a quantizer has the same entropy rate as the input, or none of the above. So you can see that third point, output of a quantizer has the same entropy rate as the input. This is not correct. A quantizer always produces uncorrelated output samples. This is also not correct. But the main characteristic of quantization is that it is going to give you a result which is non-reversible for the loss of information, because whenever we are working with quantization, there will be certain loss of information which is non-reversible, right? So the answer for this particular will be first one, that is A will be the answer. So I can just write the answer as A. Okay, next one. Second question is, what is signal to noise ratio? Signal to noise ratio is also called as SNR. So you can see very, minute differences are provided in the options which can make you confused. First option, ratio of average squared value of the source output and the squared error of the source output. Second one, ratio of the average squared value of the source output and the mean squared error of the source output. Third one, ratio of the average squared value of the source output and the absolute difference measure of the source output, or none of the above. Now you can see, we all know that we are finding the ratio. So obviously we have the ratio is given, but how the ratio is being calculated for average square value, we are calculating the average squared value in the signal to noise ratio. So it will be the second, this is the right option for as the answer, because we are going to find the average squared value ratio of the source output and the mean squared error. In first option, it is only given as squared error, while it is mean squared error of the source output, right? So B is the right answer. We can just write B as the answer, right? Now next one, the output of a scalar quantizer has property. What property has output signal of scalar quantizer? First one, the output is discrete signal with a finite symbol alphabet. Second one, the output is a discrete signal with a countable symbol alphabet. And the next one is the output signal may be a discrete or continuous. So in this question, we can see that the answer we have is B option, because we are going to have the output which is discrete signal and it is countable symbol alphabet, but not necessarily finite symbol. So the right answer will be the B option. Next, we can see what is LOLT quantizer. So LOLT quantizer कैसे define करोगे आप, वो आपको options में दिया हुआ है. इस particular में you can see that first one is, for a given source, the LOLT quantizer is the best possible scalar quantizer in rate distortion. That means there does not exist any other scalar quantizer that yields a smaller distortion at the same rate. This is not true. The output of a LOLT quantizer is a discrete signal with a uniform BPF. That is also not true. Next one, both A and B. Obviously, when these two alone are not true, then these both will not be true. But D is true, as a LOLT quantizer is a scalar quantizer that yields the minimum distortion for a given source and a given number of quantization. This is the right definition for Lloyd quantizer. We have already seen in the video which we have made, right? So the right answer will be the B option. Sorry. The right answer will be D option. Next question. We have which of the following statement is correct for comparing scalar quantization and vector quantization. See, we have already seen what are the basic differences between the scalar and the vector. We have also seen that vector quantization is a better approach as compared to the scalar quantization. So in this, the options which are provided are: first one, vector quantization improves the performance only for source with memory. For IIT sources, the best scalar quantizer has the same efficiency as the best vector quantizer. This is not true. Next option, vector quantization does not improve the rate distortion. This is also not true. It improves the rate distortion performance. And the third option is, by vector quantization, we can always improve the rate distortion performance as compared to the best scalar quantizer. So this is correct, as the performance rate distortion is improved with the help of vector quantization as compared to the scalar quantization. So the right answer will be C. Okay, next question. See here, the question is about squared error measure. If xn is the source output and yn is the reconstructed sequence, the source output is given as xn and the reconstructed sequence is given as yn, then how you can define the squared error measure? With the help of A option, that is dxy is equal to y minus x whole square. This is not true. See, whenever we are calculating the squared error measure, then we calculate it with the difference of the source output and the reconstructed sequence. So it should be x minus y. You can see there is minute difference between all these, right? First of all, this is squared error. So fourth option is not correct because it is not showing the square, right? So this is disqualified. Next one is, it is showing the addition. So addition is not possible because we are calculating the error which is coming with the difference only. So this is also not correct. Now the point is only in between A and B. So what it is? We are finding the difference between the source output and the reconstructed sequence. So it should be x minus y. So the answer will be B1, B option, right? So your answer will be B option. Next one. Now it is asking you, if xn is a source output and yn is the reconstructed sequence, then how you are going to show or give the absolute difference measure. So you all know absolute difference measure is shown by the mod, difference and the mod. So which one will be true? Obviously square will not be true. Addition will not be true. So these two options are not true. And the same concept that the difference will be of source output and reconstructed. So it will be x minus y mod, not y minus x or mod. So it will be the B option again is correct, right? So you can write the B option. Now moving to the next question. The process of representing a dash, possibly infinite set of values with a much dash set is called quantization. So we all know what is quantization. When we have large, possibly infinite set of values and we are representing it with the help of small set is called as quantization. So the right answer will be A option, that is large and smaller. The process of representing a large, possibly infinite set of values with a much smaller set of quantization. Okay, so right answer will be the A option. You have to be very careful regarding the options because they will be confusing, right? They will show you very related answers. So you have to take care that you are choosing the right option. Now next question is, the set of inputs and outputs of a quantizer can be this. We have already seen that we have two types of quantization, inputs and output, that is either scalar or vector. So only scalar is not true, only vector is not true. It can be scalar or it can be vector. So the right answer will be the C option. Okay. Now moving to the next one. Which of the following is or are correct for uniform quantizer? We have to find out which one is correct for uniform quantizer. So let's see. The simplest type of quantizer is uniform quantizer. This is true because uniform quantizer is of simplest type. All intervals are these or of same size in the uniform, except possibly for the two outer intervals. This is also true because we have same size of intervals in uniform quantizer, except the extreme two conditions, that is the outer levels. The decision boundaries are spaced evenly. Obviously, when it is of same interval, it will be, the decision boundaries will be of evenly spaced. And last option is all of the above. Obviously, when we have all the three options right, then the correct option will be the all of the above. That is, the right option is D. Next one. If a 0 is assigned a decision level, then what is the type of quantizer? So here we have studied two types. One is mid-rise and mid-thread quantizer, if you all remember. In our video also we have seen the different types of quantizer, that is mid-thread or mid-rise. So in mid-rise quantizer, we are going to involve we are going to involve the 0. So the right answer is mid-rise. In mid-thread, we do not involve the 0 as decision level. So the right answer will be mid-rise. That is B option. Now next question, if a 0 is assigned a quantization level, then what type of output it is? Then it will be mid-thread quantizer, right? It will be mid-thread quantizer. This I have told you in class also many times. We have seen this. Next question is the main approaches of adapting the quantizer parameters are: first one, offline or forward adaptive approach, online or backward, both or none of these. So if you all remember, then we had two approaches of adapting the quantizer parameters, that are, one is forward and backward, other one is backward. Forward is also known as offline and backward is also known as online. So the right answer will be both. So the right option is C option, right? C option is the right answer. That is, both are the approaches to adapting the quantizer parameter. Next one. Uniform quantizer is also called as, we also call the uniform quantizer as mid-rise quantizer. Low-rise quantizer is nothing, high-rise quantizer is nothing, but the right answer is mid-rise quantizer. So the answer will be, your right answer will be answer option C. Okay, moving forward, non-uniform quantizer, non-uniform quantizer is having four options. Now it is showing you four options: decrease, increase, doesn't change, or none of the above. So non-uniform quantizer decrease, right? That is the right option. So the right option is A. Next question is the spectral density of white noise is. Now this is not exactly question which is mapped according to your syllabus of AK2, but I have considered this because there can be a possibility that one or two questions can be of this way, which are generalized ones. The spectral density of white noise is Poisson, exponential, uniform, or Gaussian. So answer is uniform, right? This you have to remember. Which audio video refers to on-demand request for compressed audio and video files? So this we all know that streaming live, no. Interactive, no. It will be streaming stored. So the right answer will be the B option. That is streaming stored. Next question is, according to Nyquist theorem, how many times the highest frequency we need to sample an analog signal? So when we are finding out this particular question, we have the answer is according to Nyquist theorem. I think Nyquist theorem is not in your syllabus, so we are not going to consider this question. Sorry. Next question is, which encoding is based on the science of psychoacoustics, which is the study of how people perceive sound. So when we are talking about perceiving a sound, we are not talking about prediction. So our answer will be perceptual, right? This is the right answer. So B option is the right option for your answer. Next one is, which is a quantization process? Rounding, truncation, rounding and truncation, or none of the above. So both are the quantization process. Rounding is also the quantization process and truncation is also the quantization process. So the right answer will be answer C. Next is, quantization is a dash process. Quantization is a dash process. We have option non-linear, reversible, non-linear and reversible, or none of the mentioned. So the right answer is C, that is non-linear and reversible. Next one, the mutual information between a pair of event is positive, negative, zero, or all of the mentioned. So we have already seen when we have taken the lectures, mutual information can be positive or negative or zero. So the right answer will be the D option for this question. Next one, the SNR value can be increased by the number of levels. Increased by this is dash, right? So the SNR value can be increased dash the number of levels. So the right answer is SNR can be increased by increasing the number of levels. We can increase the number of levels according to which this is increased. So here the right answer will be your A option. Now moving to the next one is, 1-bit quantizer is a hard limiter or 2-level, or hard limiter and 2-level comparator, or D, that is none of the mentioned. So the right answer is 1-bit quantizer is hard limiter and 2-level